Hello and welcome to another episode of A Gym in Orlando podcast. This week we are diving into what you should and shouldn't pack and a few iDrive hotels that I've picked out just for you lot. Once again, thank you for all of our supporters. Don't forget we are on Patreon and all social media platforms, so do make sure if you are wanting a certain topic talked about, do let me know. Also, all the podcasts are now on YouTube as well. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, welcome. We're doing a full vlog when we go to Orlando, and that will be on our YouTube channel. But if you want to see a vlog from us before that, become a Patreon member. And on the 20th of April, you'll have full access to us at Thorpe Park for the day. Yes, that is the first theme park in the UK that we are visiting this year. We are visiting a lot of theme parks this year because we have Merlin annual passes and we're a bit geeky like that. Put a face to a name. Come and join us on Patreon. We'd love to have you as a member. Anyway, let's get going with this episode. I'm going to start with my usual disclaimer. I am not an expert on Orlando yet. So do join me on this journey of discovery. Packing. Yes, a lot of people find this stressful. But with the trip to Orlando, you're probably going to need a few extra things that you wouldn't normally need on, say, a beach holiday to Turkey. So let's start with the basics. Clothes. Although the normality is to pack clothes for every day of your trip, if you do want extra room in your suitcase, I'd say pack for 10 days rather than 14. Only reason I say that is because most hotels will have laundrettes and villas will have washing machines. So if you want to pack for the whole 14 days and a bit extra if you want to change your clothes, for example, if you're heading to water rides and the time of year you're going isn't so warm that you'll dry off super quick, so you want to change your clothes in your theme park bag, definitely do this. If you know you're buying souvenirs and you still want to pack for every day of your trip but you don't want to do washing, I'd recommend taking an extra suitcase with you or buy an extra case out there to save on the airport fees. Just take an extra empty suitcase with you or buy one when you're out there and pay the extra fees to bring it home. That's what I'd recommend. Okay. So next thing you're going to need 2 pairs of comfy shoes. Do not be taking heels unless you can walk 10 miles per day in them. If you can, I admire you. I can't even walk 5 seconds in heels. So yeah. Also, I personally wouldn't bring flip-flops unless they're just for by the pool in the water park. So 2 pairs of trainers, maybe a pair of flip-flops for that reason is what I'd recommend. Also, you have to make sure these comfy shoes are broken in. There is nothing worse than a nice new pair of trainers and then halfway around the park, you're struggling to walk because of blisters. Okay? So just make sure these shoes are well broken in. 2-3 weeks before, maybe wear them every day for like a week. I've just bought myself a pair of really nice Adidas trainers and I'm going to be breaking them in about 2-3 weeks before. So shoes like Skechers, Adidas or Nike trainers work really well. Alternatively, if you don't want to buy trainers, a pair of walking or hiking boots are a really great option as well. You are going to be doing a lot of walking wherever you're going and wherever you're staying. You are going to be doing a lot of walking. So yeah, walking or hiking boots are also a great option as well. Toiletries. Unless you use specific brands that you absolutely cannot be without, go to a Target or a Walmart and grab your toiletries there. It will not only save space in your case, but also you won't have issues with airport security if you have aerosols and stuff. A lot of British airports do ban certain things from being taken on a plane, whether it be in your hold or your carry-on. So double check the rules in your local airport. I mean, I can't be without my specific brand of stick deodorant. So I'm taking that with me. But my hair care, they actually sell at Target. So I'm definitely not lugging 2 huge bottles of shampoo and conditioner in my suitcase. So I will go to Target and we'll pretty much grab everything there. Our sunscreen, all of those kind of toiletries and things as well. Also, don't forget some of the hotels, depending on where you're staying, they do include a few little mini toiletries as well. So bear that in mind as well. Right. Down to the nitty gritty of extra things you will need. These are more little things that you may or may not have thought of. So the first one is a waterproof phone case. So this is especially handy if you're heading on wet rides or to the water parks. Also, a camera to take videos and pictures. I know we've all got phones these days and you can do it on your phone. We got a GoPro because it's waterproof. We can get a chest mount, which we've got, and we're going to take that on the rides and film the POVs. So if you want to be able to do that without holding your phone while you're on the ride, and a lot of rides actually won't let you hold your phone while you're on the ride because of health and safety issues, of course, grab yourself a GoPro and a chest mount. Also get yourself a non-extendable tripod or a phone or camera holder. I've got one of these off of Amazon a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the link in the description. Really, really good. They got to be non-extendable. They have to be non-extendable. So you can't have an extendable pole or an extendable tripod. You can't take that in there. Disney and Universal do not allow extendable ones for health and safety. Okay. So as long as you can have a phone or a camera holder or a mini tripod or whatever, as long as it doesn't extend, you'll be allowed in the park with it. So just make sure they're non-extendable. Okay. So it's worth noting while I'm on this subject that some rides and attractions, no matter how secure your phone is, how secure your camera is, they will not allow any form of camera or filming of any kind, okay? So just bear that in mind. Some of the rides at Universal, they even have metal detectors. So don't be trying to sneak anything on. Adhere to the rules. You do not want to get kicked out of the park for something as silly as that. So it is for yours and other guest safety. So if you can't take your camera or your phone on the ride, they usually have free lockers that you can use before you get on the ride. So most of them are free. I think the larger ones are a couple of dollars, but yeah, the smaller ones are free. Next thing, a reusable water bottle for everyone. The parks have fountains and filling stations across most parks. There's no need to keep on buying $8 water bottles. And I'm not even joking. That's how much a bottle of water costs in Disney. $8. That's insane. That's about £6, I think, roughly, on the current currency exchange rate. But yes, if you do forget your water bottle, because there are going to be days where you're just rushing to get to the parks and you forget to put your water bottle in your bag, Disney and most kiosks and quick service restaurants, they'll give you free ice water if you ask for it. So they'll give you a free cup of ice water. So yeah, just make sure you've got your reusable water bottle. If you forget it, not to worry too much. So the next is a mini fan or a handheld fan. Wherever you go and whenever you go, you will have hot spells. So you're going to need to cool down. Doesn't matter what time of year you go. Okay, it's kind of a tropical kind of environment in Orlando. So alternatively, you can buy some of that cooling face mist as well. You know, the stuff that you spray on your face to cool you down. You can get that as well. Next up, a power bank. You're going to want to keep all of your devices charged. So your camera, your phone, whatever you're taking with you that requires charging. You're not going to want to miss anything. So you're going to need a power bank with all the relevant charging wires that you need. So just make sure you've got a power bank so that your phone doesn't run out of battery, your camera doesn't run out of battery, and you can capture every single moment on your holiday. Next up, we have rain gear. It will rain whatever time of year you choose to go. Trust me, it's going to rain when we're there and we're going at one of the hottest times of the year. It's going to rain. That's what happens in Orlando, and the weather is so unpredictable as well. So also, just a quick side note, make sure you've got a weather app as well so you can keep an eye on the weather as well. So get yourself a cheap poncho or a wet weather jacket. I mean, I'd get it before you go. The rain gear in the parks are really expensive unless you want something themed. Like I know Disney do a lot of really cool windbreakers and things like that. Unless you want to get one of those, I'd get it over here because they are very, very, very expensive. You'll save yourself some money by planning ahead with this one. Okay. This next one may be a little bit obvious, but a backpack and a belt bag for the theme parks. I'll go over what to pack in these in just a moment, but they are really important. You should most definitely have those if you're theme parking all of your trips. So yeah, definitely grab those. An anti-chafe stick. Yes. If you're planning to wear those nice hot pants or short shorts, you're going to need this. I mean, I'm on the larger side and this helps me no end in the summer over here so I can wear dresses and short shorts and things like that. So if you feel like you need that kind of stuff, grab an anti-chafe stick. I'm definitely doing that. Okay. Next one. Fitbit or a fitness tracker. The reason I put this in there is because I actually have a Fitbit. And I absolutely love it, and it actually really keeps me motivated. And also, it's going to be really fun to see how many steps you've taken and stuff like that, and how many miles you've travelled as well. So grab one of those. I love my Fitbit, so I would fully recommend taking one of those as well. Mini first aid kit. Yes. I'm not talking things like massive bandages or like scissors or eye washes or things like that. I'm talking about things like blister plasters, normal plasters, wet wipes, antiseptic wipes if you fall over or something, because I'm really clumsy and I fall over all the time. So like if you have a little scrape, you're going to want to disinfect that. So little mini first aid kit. Just make sure you've got that, because you never know when you're going to need something or something's going to happen. Finally, a reusable straw is a must. It just is. All of the Disney parks have moved over to paper straws. I'm not quite sure on Universal yet, but I know from the research I've been doing that all of the Disney parks have moved over to paper straws, and I absolutely detest them. So I'm taking one. The paper straws can get really soggy, and especially if you're trying all the drinking around the world and stuff like that, and you're enjoying your drink on the way around, you're not just drinking it in one go, they are going to get more soggier. So I'd take a reusable straw as well. You can just wash them out in the fountains or in the bathrooms. So on to what you should pack in your theme park bag and your belt bag. Okay, so your belt bag, I would say keep all of the valuables in there, such as your cash, cards, park tickets, IDs, phones. I would keep, depending on how big it is, I would keep all of your valuables in there, because it's closer to your body than it is having your backpack on your back. So I feel that they're more safer. You are going to need cash, because tipping is a huge thing in Orlando and just the US in general. Everyone tips everybody. Okay, so you'll also, no matter how much over the drinking age you are, you're going to need your ID. Okay, you're going to need your passport, because I have heard that most places in the USA will only accept a passport as a form of acceptable ID for tourists. And also just bear in mind, it's not like us where we have if you look under 25, you get asked for ID. They actually ID everyone. It's quite common for them to ID maybe someone who's like 40 or 50 and clearly over the drinking age of 21. But they do tend to ID everyone for alcohol and cigarettes. So just make sure you've got your passport with you at all times. Unless you really don't need it, leave it in the safe. In your backpack, your main things are going to be your water bottles, reusable straws, rain gear, power banks, and your charging wires, your fans, etc., that kind of stuff. With the electronics, I'd make sure you've got your waterproof phone case, but also for your other electronics, so like your charging wires, your power banks, your camera, all of that kind of stuff, so they don't get wet, or if it rains, or if you're on water rides. Ziploc bags, you know those sandwich bag things? I think in America they call them Ziploc bags, but I think we just call them sandwich bags over here. Yeah, get some sandwich bags, because they're a really great cheap options as well. Also, you can take your own snacks into the parks. This is a really common misconception with over there, though. Everyone thinks that you go over there and you have to go in there and you have to eat the food, and a lot of people will actually want to eat and try all the different foods out there, because Disney, trust me, there is so much food and so many snacks that I want to try. But you just bear in mind, you can take your own snacks into the park. You can't take coolers into the park, but you can take things like crisps or like something that won't melt in the heat. So don't take chocolate, that's not a good idea. Nothing that's perishable. I'd say just like crisps, little bits like that, granola bars, that kind of stuff. Like just pop that in your bag, because that might keep you going, rather than you having to spend like $6 on a snack later on in the park. So also don't forget your sun cream, your sunglasses, and a change of clothes if you're going on wet rides and you want to be able to change. We're probably not going to take a change of clothes. As I say, we're going at one of the hottest times of the year and we'll probably dry off in 5 minutes. But if you are going, say, like January, and you're not going to dry off as quick, definitely take a change of clothes in your backpack. So those are my tips for planning your packing, and hopefully it's made things easier for you all. If you do have any more questions, tweet me, I don't know, get in contact with me on all the social media platforms and I'll help you out, no problem. Now we're going to move on to my favourite picks for iDrive hotels in Orlando. So the first honourable mention is, of course, the one we are staying at, which is the Avanti Palms Resort. So it's not to be confused with the Avanti International Resort, which is a little bit further down in the middle of iDrive. This is the Avanti Palms Resort. So it's situated close to the Universal end of iDrive. It's recently, in the last couple of years, had a bit of a refurbishment. So the interior looks really lovely. The pool's been revamped. You get really good views of the big volcano at Volcano Bay, which we were really excited about when we saw that. And it's only a 30-minute walk. Yes, walk from Universal Studios. So you can walk to Universal City Walk and go out for the night and come back. Yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. So they've also got shuttle services to Disney and other attractions as well. Now the rooms, they aren't anything special, but you do have your usual, your safe, your mini fridge, aircon as standard. I mean, looking at the rooms, they haven't had the same refurbishment as the lobby. I'm sure they'll get around to that. The other areas have had refurbishment, so I'm sure they'll get around to refurbishing the rooms as well. So, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if you're like us and you want somewhere to just rest your head, store your milk and cereal, yes, we are going to be having cereal most days for breakfast. We're not going to eat out every morning for breakfast. So that's a good tip, actually. I actually got that tip from my best friend. They actually had just literally ate cereal most of the time when they were there, and it just got them a little bit of energy to get on with the day as well. So yeah, so if you just want somewhere to rest your head, store your milk and cereal, and a nice pool for your rest day, I mean, this will be perfect for you. It's perfect for us as well. It's a really good price as well. So yeah, also they do have laundrettes as well. So if you are taking my advice on packing, you can wash your clothes. It is only self-laundry. There's no laundry service. You have to do it yourself, but that's fine. So the cons, however, there is a $12 per room per day resort fee, but it does cover a lot of things. It covers free parking if you're driving, the shuttles to the attractions, and Wi-Fi, amongst a lot of other things as well. Also, just a side note, the shuttles do have to be pre-booked and they do only run at certain times. So if you're wanting to spend a full day in a Disney park, they don't run very late. I mean, but apart from those things, it's a really good value for money hotel. I mean, for our flights and accommodation, it cost us £1,000 a person. It was insane. I mean, the park tickets were more than the flights and accommodation and the transfers, so it's crazy. This is also a Universal partner hotel as well. So you get, if you're a Universal partner hotel, you don't get like an express pass, you don't get like early park admission or anything like that, but you do get discounts on food and drink and merchandise as well. So just bear that in mind if you're wanting to spend most of your time in Universal. And the next on my list is the Embassy Suites by Hilton. So that's got 4 out of 5 on TripAdvisor. So these are like premium suites. Okay, these prices will be slightly higher than other hotels on the iDrive strip, so it is a little bit on the more luxury side of things. So the room amenities, you have your usual mini fridge, aircon, safe, that kind of stuff. You also got a sofa bed if you've got more than 2 of you, so if you all don't mind, but if you've got 4 or 5 of you, you all don't mind bunking up, that's a great option for you as well, getting a suite rather than a room as well. You've got a microwave as well and a self-laundry service as well if you're taking my packing advice. The pros of this hotel, you've got no resort fees. Absolutely no resort fees at this hotel. There's also a free breakfast and a free shuttle to Universal Studios as well. Okay, so the cons, the rooms, while they are luxurious and they've got a little bit extra than most, they are a little bit dated. Self-parking if you're driving costs $18, but I'm not sure if that's per day or that's per stay. So make sure you try and double check that. I did try and find out. I couldn't see anything. I went on to TripAdvisor, asked the question. I haven't had any replies yet. So yes, this is also a Universal partner hotel. So you do get that those extra perks that I said about for the Avanti Palms as well. So you do get those as well. I'm going to go into 2 hotels that are at the SeaWorld end of iDrive now. So that's the opposite end to where we are. Again, I'm going to do a mid-range hotel and a luxury hotel. So the mid-range hotel is the Rosen Plaza. It's got a 4 out of 5 rating on TripAdvisor. And looking at the rooms, it looks like a really nice mid-range option, okay? So the pros of this hotel is they do have shuttle services for Universal and SeaWorld. They have a self-laundry so that you can use the self-laundry, or they have a laundry service so they can do it for you. So I haven't even got to worry about your washing. Obviously, there will be an extra charge for that as well. Room amenities are pretty much the same as the others. Your safe, your fridge, your aircon, that kind of stuff. Also, there's no resort fee as well. So bear that in mind as well if you're not wanting to pay that extra money per day. So the cons of this, you do have to pay for self-parking, although I couldn't find how much it was per day or per stay. I couldn't find that out. Also, they do run a Disney shuttle, but it's not included in the free shuttles. It is $17 per person per day for that shuttle. But being on the SeaWorld end, you are right where the Lynx buses go that take you direct to Disney World, and they're like $4 for a return trip. So I would personally not, if you're saying it, they're going to stay at this hotel, I personally not bother doing the Disney shuttles with them, and I would go with definitely the Lynx buses as well. The last hotel I'm going to talk about on iDrive is the Hyatt Regency Hotel. It is a very luxurious hotel. There's loads of room options. One thing I did notice, they have a really good range of accessible rooms as well. So if you're needing accessibility or accessible rooms, this is a great option for you. They've got loads of accessible rooms for you. Room amenities are as before, but these rooms, interestingly, have Google Chromecast in them, which I think is brilliant. I mean, I know you're not going to want to go to a hotel and sit and watch TV all day, but I think that option's great. Like, I mean, we watch TV while we're in bed before we go to sleep. So, I mean, you know, that's great to me. I mean, the hotel facilities also are amazing. They've got a huge pool, spa, gym, room service. So I think it's like the height of luxury. They've also got these private pool cabanas by their pools as well that you can rent. So, yeah, definitely the height of luxury. The cons, though. The resort fee is really, really pricey. Really, really pricey. It's $30 per room per day. However, bear this in mind, it does include quite a lot. So you get 25% off of spa services, 25% off hiring a private pool cabana. You get 2 bottles of water per day and 2 iRide trolley tickets as well. So you can go up and down iDrive. So I think it might be personally worth it for the benefits. Another con is there's no shuttle services, nothing at all. But you are right near the transportation it will take you anyway. So you buy the Lynx buses, you buy the iRide trolley, you buy taxi stands, Ubers, Lyfts, all that kind of stuff. I mean, Uber and Lyft you can get anywhere anyway. But yeah, so I also couldn't find if there were self-parking fees or not. But I imagine with this one, with that huge resort fee per room per day, I imagine parking would be included in that as well. So if you are wanting major luxury that's close to everything, this hotel is absolutely for you. So all in all, the best thing with iDrive is you've got so many options, but just take into account what you absolutely must have in a stay. If you're like us and you just need a central base with a nice pool, I personally wouldn't spend too much. I wouldn't go overkill with it. I mean, if it's a special occasion, such as a honeymoon or a birthday, I mean, be honest, I'd pay that little bit more extra for a bit more luxury. You know, if I say we ended up going to Florida for our honeymoon or whatever, I'd probably want to stay at the Hyatt Regency because that was absolutely stunning when I was looking at the pictures as well. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. That's a long one this time. They're getting a bit longer. Next week is a really exciting week. We're starting on the theme parks and attractions. I'm so excited. And Matt's going to be joining us for these episodes as well. I'm excited for you all to meet him and hear his voice. He's going to be weighing in on which rides and foods he really wants to try. So interact with us on social media. Guess which park we're starting with. I'll give you a clue. It is a Disney park, but that's the only clue I'm giving you, okay? So interact with me on social media. What Disney park do you think I'm covering first? What do you think we're covering first? So let us know on social media. So thanks for joining us, and don't ever forget, get excited. The magic rolls around fast.